All right, that guy right there is Edward Ed Badalian. Yep, he was there on January 6th. He didn't hurt anybody, didn't break anything, and they tried to destroy his life over what happened. But he was pardoned by President Trump. And today his record is clean. Ed Badalian, let's go through it. 29 years old, from Panorama City, California. He entered the Capitol on January 6th through a broken window, but he didn't break that window. He was there for about 4 minutes, convicted of conspiracy, obstruction, entering a restricted building, some other stuff. 4 years and 3 months in prison, but he served 5 months before one of the most serious charges was thrown out by the Supreme Court, and then pardoned. Edward Badalian, welcome. How are you doing? How does it feel to have your record wiped clean?
Hey, Greg. It's definitely great. But, I don't want to be a downer, but, this is just the beginning of this battle. So this is one step in the right direction, of course. But, this war has only just begun. We're not going to just sit on our laurels and say, oh, well, Trump won, we're pardoned, and now we're just going to sit back and relax. Like, no, we have a lot of work to do. We don't want to, and, I'm here at CPAC, so I'm hitting the ground running here. But I just want to make a real quick correction. I was incarcerated for 12 months. 5 months into my sentence, I guess, was the Supreme Court decision. And then I had to wait an additional 6 months in prison, 6.5, or give or take. So I finally got out in September of last year. So
well,
that was
about
almost exactly a year.
I apologize.
No, it's all good.
So look, tell me more about the work that has to be done, because that can mean a lot of different things to different people. And I know CPAC is about action. There are a lot of things to do. Save the country, help Trump, but also, I don't know, restore you guys. I mean, your lives were turned upside down. You lost a lot of income. A lot of guys, we had suicides, all kinds of things. A lot of people think the government should pay for that. How do you feel about that? And is that part of your focus?
Yeah, I think there's three sort of main prongs to what we need to be doing. We have, on the federal level, these people that did this to us, are being fired now, but we should see at least some of them prosecuted. If just Liz Cheney was prosecuted for the 1512 obstruction, as the Supreme Court redefined it, which she actually violated, that would be, for example, that would be good enough for me, to be honest, because she's so awful. But so that's one thing, is the actual justice. Another thing is, they didn't just, take away our time and just, destroy our lives, like, emotionally, which they did, but also financially. So we are already, multiple lawsuits have been filed. We're going to be filing more. So we need to be made whole again in that respect as well. And the third thing, which is super important, is to continue this momentum that we have, not sit back, but actually, get involved even more than people were before in their local grassroots politics. Register people to vote. Put flyers out there, put signs out there, become a candidate. We need more grassroots candidates, more MAGA candidates to fill all these positions of, city council, school board, state assembly, state senate. So even, governor, assembly, or like the actual, Congress and Senate. All these candidates positions we need filled with real MAGA patriots, and we have to do the work on the ground to get this election machine going. Because whenever you speak to people, like when I speak to people in Los Angeles, I'm from Los Angeles, the majority of people I speak to are like common sense, ready to be like Republican voters. We just don't have the ground game. The Democrats have the ground game, so they're able to maximize the vote that they do have, but they're a minority. We're the majority. We just need a little bit of organization, and I think we can sweep California, New York, every state. It's just because we're running on common sense. It's impossible to beat if you're organized.
So that all sounds great, by the way. The experience in prison and the ordeal, was there an upside? Was there a silver lining? I mean, are you more focused and committed to organizing maybe than you were before? What is the upside, if any, regarding your incarceration and the whole J6 ordeal?
That's a great question. The first thing that comes to mind is, getting back into a relationship with God, because having to, I had nothing else to read at some point. I was in the hole for a few months, and I was just reading the Bible over and over again. So there was that upside. But There's also the idea that, because of not only the prosecution and the persecution, but like the media, destroying my reputation, essentially, the corporate media, and even some independent, quote unquote, independent journalists that are, left leaning. You Google my name, it's like, oh, I'm a terrorist, basically. I'm like Al Qaeda. So I thought, I couldn't really get a normal job anymore. So I've kind of leaned into more conservative politics more so. And so I think that, it's caused me to become more dedicated to the movement, actually.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.